Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear NeuroGuard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room, and help with balance when I'm on the baseball field.
One of the most comfortable, reduces concussion, increases performance. You can't get a mouthpiece like that on the market.
Not only is it a great product, it's super easy to use. I recommend it for any player at any age or any level. Thank you guys so much, and go check out NeuroGuard Plus.
NeuroGuard mouthpiece makes it easy to breathe while playing basketball. The unique design is not as bulky as any other mouthpiece and makes you feel safe in concussions.
NeuroGuard. They control my breathing while I'm riding. It stops me getting concussions while I ride. It's very easy to use, so go pick one up today.
You know, I'm still doing stunts. You know, and the concussions I've got, you know, I feel much safer with that. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot better in the gym. So NeuroGuard Plus, you know, once this one wears out, you've got a customer for life, because I'm telling you people, NeuroGuard Plus is the way to go, and me, Mark Ash, says so.
Parents, kids, coaches, NeuroGuard. It's the future. Stay tuned.
Hey, I mean, that was a good point.
I think we might start seeing some go back.
Uh-oh, I feel 2A playoff devil coming.
Lights are bright on Friday night. In small Texas town.
I'm just gonna say this for all you 2A folks.
Happy Halloween.
This is the first time
that was last week.
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
this is the first time that you've ever been the third show of the night. And so unless you've ever listened to the third show of the night, that means
you're looking for a scary night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit interesting. Hello, everybody. I'm Terry Bennett.
Do I look like the Grim Reaper?
You look like the Grim something. That is Grant Goodwin.
This pointy, and then out here.
This is Sideline. The Sideline brought to you by NeuroGuard Plus and brought to you by the Playoff Tree sponsor. That is Lazy Dog Kettle Corn. If you're watching on video, you can see the scroll at the bottom. If you aren't, go to 5gfarmtexas.com/shop.
And they also make Terry's favorite pork rinds.
Yes, I love pork rinds.
I do too. I'm more of a vegetarian. I
No, you're
care
not
for my
at
health.
all.
Okay, I'm not a vegetarian. But these are pork rinds, and these Cajun pork rinds with hot sauce.
Yeah, Catuya in
And
there.
the sack. Oh man, that's the bomb.
I like
dude.
spicy brown mustard with my pork rinds. They have multiple pork rinds. And here's the great thing about them, other than also legitimately, these are awesome. I've been eating these dill pickle ones over here. I didn't even think that sounded good, to be honest with you. I love pickles, but I feel like the pickle flavor is a lot of times chemically. This one isn't.
Is it, wait, chemically?
Yeah, chemically.
What do you mean there?
It tastes like chemicals. Like it tastes fake. It doesn't. This is amazing.
You're eating stuff that tastes chemical?
Mm-hmm. Oh!
One more time. One more
Yeah,
time.
one more time.
One more time.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Right there,
And
folks.
They got also cinnamon
We're breaking
apple,
that out next week.
Fruit.
No, we're breaking that out.
I hate fruit.
We're breaking that out.
I hate fruit. I hate water. I hate snakes. I hate tampons. I hate ghosts. And I hate chainsaws.
You've gotten better at water. You've gotten better at water.
How do you know?
Because we hang out about 30 weeks a year.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, we do want to thank Lazy Corn for being the Playoff Tree sponsor. Please legitimately check them out. You can also find them on Facebook. Just go to, just type in Lazy Dog Kettle Corn. They have so many flavors. They have a sideline to sideline sample pack.
I have to go find that kernel that I missed.
They have an L4
You
Media.
take it from here.
They have an L4 Media pork rinds pack. They also have an Outdrank the Coverage pack.
I know I started like promising not to eat shit off the floor, but I had to eat that off the floor.
You know what? I just
it was
realized
my whole like new healthy lifestyle
to not
was
eat shit off the floor.
Not
That
eat
was your
stuff off the
big.
floor.
That was your big
number
thing,
one,
not
and
eat
I
shit off
just
the-
broke that. So
hang
after
on.
football season, I'm going back to eating healthy. Nothing
So
off the
that Subway
floor.
sandwiches?
Some green. No.
Remember that?
Subway's the
You realize
worst
how long
place in
ago
the
that
world.
was we were doing that? So people don't know.
That was basketball.
Yeah,
days.
basketball season back in the day, Grant and I, because we would eat so bad during football season, we would eat better in the off season. And for some reason, we decided that was grilled, non-flavored chicken from Subway. That
With
was terrible.
Chemical bread.
Speaking of, by the way, I didn't even think about this. Playoff Tree. What do you think about being sponsored by Lazy Dog Kettle Corn?
Well, Terry, I love kettle corn. It's really hard to eat as a tree. We absorb a lot of our nutrients through our bark, right? And it's really hard to absorb any nutrients through your bark. I want to take this opportunity and thank you for giving me a chance to speak. But I want to put my beef out there with Coach X. He was talking a lot of shit on the last two shows. Saying how it was unfair that I had a sponsor and he doesn't. But let me tell you right now, this coach right here, he calls himself a coach, was coaching at some second-rate high school, but here I am, basically a millionaire with my NIL deal, my name, image, likeness deal, right? Stanford Cardinals is one. I made a huge deal with Stanford, right? The Stanford, they're the Cardinal. Well, I go down there to California and I say, look, take the Cardinal off your helmet, put a tree on there. I'm a good enough salesman that a Cardinal puts a tree on their helmet and they have a tree mascot running around the sideline over there. So tell me who the dummy is, Coach X. Mic drop. Sorry, bark drop.
And I'm going to break it
off. Oops.
That wasn't me.
That was definitely Playoff Tree. By the way, 2-8, that is Playoff Tree. I know y'all saw them last year, but
He'll
we
be
didn't really
going to
talk
a lot
about
of games too, and he'll give you his analysis.
Well, and apparently, we're not hearing from him this week, but apparently him and playoff football over there have a lot of issues, but we'll talk about that next week. This is what we do other than that kind of stuff. We break down all the playoff games. Now, if this is the first time you're listening to us, we are not giving you in-depth breakdowns of all these games. First off, because it would take too long. We're sitting here at 9 o'clock recording the third show of the night. We love doing this, but at some point you can't keep doing this. And also, it's the first round. There's so many games, and there's going to be a lot of blowouts. But we are going to pick every game. And we're going to start in Region 1. Hang on.
2A Division 1.
Well, yeah, I would hope people would understand that. Here we go. Let me get the sheet up. Let's start in region.
Popcorn picture.
That's that kettle corn. Sunray 10-0 versus Olton 5-5. 4 p.m. Thursday. That is an interesting time.
Yeah.
At Canyon's Happy State Bank. Sunray names their score.
They do, man. Armando Lujan at quarterback. Dawson Bennett and Keegan Davis at receiver. That's not even mentioning Sunray's defense, which is outstanding. Sunray might be the Region 1 favorite. We'll name, I guess, our region championship, right?
Yeah.
Here in a minute. All right. So, yeah, I like Sunray big.
And in saying that, their second round matchup
is not easy.
No, Holly 9-1 versus Azona 7-3. This is at Colorado City's Wolf Stadium, 6 p.m. Friday. Holly's going to win, but I think the Lions of Ozona can give them some issues on the year. Their only 2 losses were Cristobal at the end of the year and Brady at the beginning of the year.
Hey, 2 good losses.
Yeah, they're
But
7.
look, here, Ozona's quarterback.
Oh, they also lost
Hudson,
to Reagan County. Sorry.
Yeah, Reagan County. Okay, yeah, that's the 3rd loss. But Hudson Fowler at quarterback for Ozona, 1,900 yards passing. Then their running back, Christian Villarreal, 1,300 yards rushing. Here's the thing. Hawley's defense only allows about 12 points a game, and then you factor in Keegan Abels at quarterback and Camden Adels at receiver. Hawley's going to be way too much for Ozona. I think Sunray and and Hawley in the 2nd round is going to be the best matchup in all of the playoffs.
And let's remember, last year Sunray kind of announced themselves because they upset New Home.
Yeah.
In the 2nd round. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time with Hawley. I'm just saying that's how tough this region is.
I think Sunray now thinks that it's Arlington or bust.
And they should.
For right now, for Sunray to make it a couple of rounds deep or 3 rounds deep or even the region final is cute to them, but they're not quitting until Arlington. And that is the mission after we went out and saw Sunray and Panhandle in Sunray. That was the narrative of the night.
Yep.
Was it's not a few rounds in playoffs. It's not a region final. It's not a semifinal. No, it's a state championship, and that's what they believe. And I think Sunray Hawley in the 2nd round, if it happens, which it should, will be a game we should probably be at. All right, Post 10-0 versus 4-6 Spearman over in Tulia on Friday, 7 p.m. Give me Post. Post is on a roll right now. Though, what does their record as far as their resume? How many really, really tough wins do they have?
Well, first off, I want to give Coach John Wright credit for turning this program around. That 2020 and 2019 they were dominant, 14-1 and 15-1. Since then they had struggled. They were 1-8 last year. So just to be 10-0 is impressive in of itself. But you bring up a good point. I mean, their best wins probably last week against Abernathy in a close one, 21-3 to lock up the district championship. And Spearman, we
but
talked,
Abernathy's resume wasn't like the toughest,
but
right?
but they're 7-3. I mean, they're a solid team.
No, absolutely.
But you can ask the same on Spearman.
Calibrating, right?
Like who is Spearman? I mean, Spearman. They speaking of Sunray, they got throttled by Sunray 47-6.
Well, I don't think Spearman plays with Post. I think Post wins by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I agree as well.
All right, Cristobal and Anson Friday in Sweetwater. Give me Anson, but could be a close one.
Yeah, give me Anson. Again, this is, the Tigers are one of those teams that I think if you'd have asked them, they felt they were going to be better than 7-3. But when you look at their losses, now they're not necessarily close, but their 3 losses were back-to-back: Albany, Hawley, and Stamford.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, that's pretty impressive, even though they were losses. Give me Anson in that one. Reagan County 9-1 versus Cisco 6-4. Thursday at Big Spring Memorial Stadium.
I like Cisco in this one.
Yeah, I wanted to go with Reagan County, and I know Cisco. Pretty record, but I will say my issue with Cisco is, it's Cisco and all, but man, they have gotten throttled. Hawley 41-0, Anson 59-14, Stanford 41-14. I mean, their best. I don't even really know if you make a case that they don't really have a great win. They beat Coleman, who made the playoffs, but the Blue Cats are very down this year. I'm going to go ahead and flip over. I'm going to go Reagan County.
Are you?
Yeah. I don't know. I think Cisco, we're giving too much of it's Cisco.
Yeah, I still like Cisco in a close one. All right, Abernathy 7-3, Stinnett, West Texas 7-3 over in Hereford on Friday night, 7 p.m. Give me Abernathy, but this is going to be a close one as well.
Yeah, this is one of the really, really good matchups of the first round. Again,
Panhandle football is some of the best playoff football in the first 2 rounds because so many of those teams are so evenly matched.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I mean, as we say, I mean, you've got Sunray, who I still think is a prohibitive favorite, but they're literally going up against the team in the second round in Holly that was, for the most part, all year, the prohibitive favorite. So, and that's just the top half of this bracket. Stanford 10-0 versus Sonora 5-5. This is in Snyder.
I like Abernathy over
West
Texas.
I like Abernathy West Texas. Sorry about that. I like Abernathy, but again, I think that's going to be closer than what people think.
Right.
And then Panhandle 9-1. I'm sorry, you got Stanford against Sonora, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Stanford winning that one, which I still Sonora being Region 1, they're down by almost Del Rio.
Yeah, I know, it's freaking crazy.
Right.
Panhandle 9-1 versus New Home 5-5. This is at Canyon's Happy State Bank Stadium Friday, again 4 p.m. New Home's kind of John Ward's New Home. Again, last year they got upset by Sunray in the second round. And it feels like that just kind of did something to them. They struggled this year. They were 5-5. I don't think that everybody thought they would be 10-0, but I think people thought that they were going to continue building off of 13-1 2 years ago, 11-1 last year. Panhandle has been really, really good. You saw them against Sunray. I think that's the thing that got lost in the Sunray game was it wasn't like Panhandle got pushed in. Panhandle fought tooth and nail in that game.
Yeah, they did. And I'm telling you, Panhandle right now is an X factor with their quarterback, Braxton Robinson, who can move the chains. He's not particularly strong passer, right, with his arm. He's not particularly strong with his legs overall compared to like a Armando Lujan at Sunray. But this dude is a chain mover.
Yep.
He finds the open receiver and he finds the open gap. He finds the block. He runs behind the block. An excellent, excellent quarterback. And Panhandle is going to be in the region final, I think. I think it's going to be Panhandle and Sunray for the rematch.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be Panhandle and Sunray for the
Region
rematch.
1.
Yeah,
All right.
Region 1.
Good deal.
All right, let's go to a region that is not quite as good as Region 1. As Region 2, this is one of those that I could see 5 teams coming out of this one.
Completely wide open Region 2 is, right?
Let's start with Hamilton 10-0 versus Whitewright 7-3. This is at Fort Worth Clark Stadium, 7 p.m. Friday. Give me Hamilton, but I don't trust Hamilton. I know they're 10-0, but
I mean, how do you trust Whitewright?
Oh, I don't. I'm just saying. I don't trust.
Whitewright's played a pretty tough schedule.
I don't really trust anybody in this region.
Whitewright's played a pretty tough schedule within the region, right? Statewide, like ranking-wise, you wouldn't say Whitewright played any knockout, punchers or anything. But Hamilton enters the game 10-0 for a reason. And I don't care how bad your schedule is. When you come in undefeated, that says something. I like Hamilton to beat Whitewright, but I think this is going to be one heck of a game over in Fort Worth on Friday. And they'll take on the winner of 7-3 Frank Stun, who takes on 7-3 Italy team over in Kemp on Friday. Give me Italy in this one.
Give me Frankston simply because Italy's quarterback's out, and he's been out.
He's out?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was a lot of the athleticism for
Well, yeah,
Italy.
I mean, and it's not like he's a special thrower or anything, but like you say, he just does things. He returned a block.
I like Frankston then with him out.
He returned a blocked field goal at one point for a touchdown to help Italy win as time expired, and they don't have that anymore. So, yeah, it sucks for Italy because I think they could have been a dark horse, but in this one, I've got Frankston. Tioga 8-2 versus Ballinger 5-5. This is at Boyd Yellow Jacket. Give me Tioga, who beat Wolf City. It kind of got lost. You have so many great games in that last week of the season that kind of gets lost because everybody's looking towards the playoffs. That was one of them, man. Wolf City was coasting. I was ready to say, hey, Wolf City's going to win this region. I still think they have a really good chance. But then Tioga beats them. Give me Tioga in this one by a lot.
I think Tioga might actually win this region. Look, Tioga 8-2, Ballinger 5-5. Tioga comes into this game with Rocky Ulrich at quarterback, 2,730 yards passing. They got a really good receiver in Johnny Dorfingas, who has about 1,000 yards receiving. The defense has been playing very well. Right now, I think Tioga might be the favorite in this region, and they will wipe the field with Ballinger.
All right, then we have next. What do we have next? Sorry, Mike.
Dawson 5-5, taking on a Kearns team that's 5-5 over in Corsicana on Thursday night at 7 p.m.
Kearns,
Give me Dawson in a close.
Give me Kearns. Kearns beat Dawson earlier this year, 35-9.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that was in September, and again, we
let me change my thought. No, I'm going to take Dawson.
I have no problem with that. This game's I have no problem with that. Again, just because you won that first time doesn't mean anything anymore.
By that much, I didn't realize it was a 35-9 thing. All right, Axtell 9-1, Cayuga 4-6. Over in Athens on Thursday. Axtell has been so good all year.
Yeah, Axtell, though, last year unbeaten, going in the first round, really thought that they thought that they were region favorites, and then Valley Mills upset them. I don't think Cayuga does that this time. I think Axtell wins. I think Axtell wins going away.
Yeah, me too. All right, Wolf City versus Coleman. Wolf City 8-2, Coleman 3-7. This is over in Godley on Thursday
night. Nice stadium, by the way. Godley is a really underrated. People do not.
The best 2A, 3A stadium, actually 3A stadium in the state.
It is
right now.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it is, especially for that small of a school. Give me Wolf City with H.D. Davis, man. The running back for Wolf City, averaging 268 yards a game rushing.
I'm not saying Coleman's going to win this game. They're not.
It's not even going to be close, dude.
I think it will be. That loss last week by Wolf City, it kind of made me go, okay, wait a minute. Maybe Wolf City hasn't been what I thought they were going to be, because I was ready to.
I think H.D. Davis is going to run all over that Coleman defense, which has given up a lot of points.
Oh, no, they have. And I think Wolf City wins. I'm just saying I'm a little just. My core is shaking with Wolf City. I talk about Wolf City all the time on KETR, and I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what it is about that loss last week. Just bothers me. Mildred 10-0 versus Rio Vista 5-5. This is at West Trojan Stadium, Thursday, 7 p.m. Give me Mildred, but I still don't know how much I trust that 10-0 record, but they will win this week.
Yeah, Mildred all over Rio Vista this year. This week, I don't think Rio Vista stays in it for a quarter.
No.
All right, De Leon 6-4 versus a 4-6 Alvord team, and Godley on Friday. Give me, I actually might take Alvord in this one.
I like De Leon in this one. I think this is a really interesting matchup. De Leon on the year is 6-4, but when you pull back and look who they've lost to, Stanford, Hawley, Munster, and Hamilton.
Oh, that's a hellacious.
Yeah, and that Hamilton loss last week was 38-35. I do think
I'm changing my pick to De Leon.
Well, okay, hang on now. Let me pull you out on Alvord now, because Alvord on the year, their losses are to Windthorst, to Wolf City, to Tioga. I mean, and Lindsay. Lindsay, a really good team. But I at the end of the day, I like De Leon in this one.
I like De Leon too. All right, so who do you like in Region 2? I'm going to tell you mine.
Go ahead, because I'm still really torn.
I like Tioga versus. Do I like Axtell or Wolf City? I'm going Axtell.
I have no problem with that. I like that.
Tioga versus Axtell in the Region 2 final.
I'm going to reassert my trust in Wolf City and say Tioga and Wolf City in a rematch, but I like Axtell as well. This is, we always talk about this when we talk about districts.
That Axtell defense, can they load up against H.D. Davis in that Wolf City running game?
That's going to be a good question.
You've got to shut one guy down.
Yeah, and that happens in the playoffs. But I will say this. This might be one of those regions when you and I talk about our districts where I don't know how this region is going to play outside the region, but this is going to be a fun 4 weeks with these teams.
Oh my gosh! Because
there's going
Region
to be
2 is going to be great.
It's going to be some crazy results because you just don't have trust in anybody. All right, let's flip over to Region 3, and this is a completely different region. This is a region that is absolutely packed with some great teams, and we'll start at the top. Honeygrove 9-1 versus Elysian Field 7-3. This is at Maybank Panther Stadium Friday 7 p.m. I like Honeygrove, and I think Honeygrove will win going away. But don't be surprised if Elysian Field's athleticism athleticism gives them a little trouble early, but not for a long time.
Yeah, I like Honey Grove all night in this one,
All right,
especially now they're starting to get healthy finally.
Oh, yeah.
the last 2
Ryland
weeks,
Morris
and when
is
they
back.
get all their dudes back, Ryland Morris is back. They're going to be tough to stop.
I feel like we're about to have a Honey Grove Wascom clash in round 3.
I do
Hearn
too.
4-6 versus Timpson 5-4. Friday, Palestine Wildcat Stadium. Give me Timpson.
Yeah, I like Timpson in that one as well.
Wascom 8-2 versus Paul Pewitt or Omaha. Paul Pewitt 5-5. That's Thursday at the Marshall Maverick Stadium. Give me Wascom and a big score.
Yeah, give me Wascom. I think Pewitt's just
they're not there yet.
Missing some dudes.
They're
I think
not there.
they get a great sophomore class, as our buddy Jimmy Waits said. They're loaded, but they're a year or 2 away. They're missing some linemen. Pewitt is Wascom wins this one going away. All right. And they will take on Wascom. The winner of Wascom Pewitt will take on the winner of Garrison and Corrigan Camden. Garrison 8-2, Corrigan Camden 5-5. This is over at Wildcat Stadium in Palestine on Thursday at 7:00. Give me Garrison in this one. Garrison's defense kind of underrated. They give up about 19 points a game.
The
which
offense
is
has
not
been
bad.
their struggle.
Yeah, it has. But, their quarterback, Antonio Yarborough, about 1,140 yards rushing. So not too bad. Corrigan Camden has a really good running back, Derek Raggy, who has ran for like 1,550 yards so far. So I think Corrigan's run game can expose a little bit of that defensive front, maybe of Garrison, but there's not a lot of weaknesses on that Garrison defense for him to expose.
That's a good point.
This is going to be a close one. I like Garrison in this one, though. I don't want to make it sound like it's too close, but I think it's within 14 points, don't you?
I was going to say, I think it's one of those that's close into the third or fourth quarter, and Garrison kind of stretches it out. But again, in this region, also, if we, as I always like to say, that you say, crack open the paper on Friday morning, and Corrigan Camden's pulled an upset, I wouldn't be that shocked about it.
Right, exactly. All right, Shelbyville 8-2, Jewett Leon 6-4. Thursday over in Nacogdoches 7:00. Give me Shelbyville in this one.
Give me
all day long.
Shelbyville, but again, they're another one that was rocking and rolling, man, and then they hit Joaquin and they lose.
Joaquin's a pretty good football team.
No, Joaquin's a pretty good football team, but I mean, Joaquin was 3-2 in district and 6-4 overall, and they ended up getting beat by 2 touchdowns. Again, that part of that though is this region. This region is really, as we talk about Region 2 being unknown, Region 3 has a lot of known teams, and it's almost like it's thankful that Timpson took a step back because it's allowed other teams to shine, like Garrison, like Honey Grove, like Shelbyville, and I think Shelbyville wins this great, like Beckville 9-1 versus Rivercrest 8-2. Hey, Rivercrest is 8-2. And we can talk about, we don't trust it, and we don't, but still, Rivercrest is 8-2. Congratulations, man.
I have talked to a few people that have told me Rivercrest is a lot better than what you thought they were.
That
and I
I
went
thought
back
they were?
and watched.
That I thought they were?
Well, we thought
No,
they were.
I know
right?
you're right. I know what you
And
mean.
I went back and watched 2 games of theirs last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Beckville will win this football game. Look, Jordan Prince at running back, averaging like 170-something yards a game, rushing. Rivercrest, pretty good defense. Offensively, they're really good. Very impressed. This will be a closer game than what people think, I think.
I think this is almost a pick'em game.
I like Beckville.
I do too.
And I think Rivercrest beating Beckville would be an upset.
Yep.
But I would not be shocked if Rivercrest won this one. Rivercrest is better than what a lot of people think.
No,
They're darn good.
I totally agree with you. I think Beckville wins, but I wouldn't be shocked. Centerville 9-1 versus the Joaquin that we were talking about 6-4 Friday or Thursday 7 p.m.
This is a heck
Arts
of a
Tire
matchup
Stadium.
here.
Yeah, because Centerville's 9-1. And their only loss is by 3 points to Groesbeck, and they have some solid quality wins on the year.
Right.
So, but then Joaquin,
look at Joaquin's schedules. I mean, that's pretty good resume too. I know they lost 4, but I mean,
look, I'm trying to pull up their schedule right. So they lost to Beckville. That's a big rivalry game by 4. They did lose by 50 to Grand Saline, but Grand Saline's Grand Saline,
Yeah,
folks.
and that's up in 3A.
They lost by 3 to Timpson, and then they lost by 22 to Garrison. None of those losses are shameful at all.
I like Centerville in a close one, though. I think Joaquin can win this football game if they're playing their A game, but it has to be – they got to take their A game to ARP to beat the Tigers, but I do expect Centerville to win this one.
Yeah, I'm just. It feels like Centerville. They have been locked in at the 12-2, 10-3, 9-3. I feel like they're a team, and again, this is one of those when the old thing of when a team like Timpson, when a power leaves, that creates a vacuum. I feel like Centerville feels like they can fill that vacuum just like anybody else.
Oh yeah.
And they'll play the winner of Cooper 6-4 versus Big Sandy 6-4 Friday.
That's a good one, too.
It is, but and this is not fair to Big Sandy. I will say this right now, but I cannot get out of my head Wascom, because I watched this game, Wascom scoring 21 points before they even took one snap offensively. A block punt, an interception, and a punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think
Cooper's not Wascom, but
Cooper's not as bad as – not bad. Cooper is down from where they've been, yes.
They still played Honeygrove somewhat close.
Exactly. Cooper is not as far down as people think. Their
Cooper's
losses
still going to run the rock, and I don't think that Big Sandy defense is going to be able to hold up to the pounding that Cooper's going to give them offensively. So give me Cooper.
I just want to point out their losses to Grand Saline, to Collinsville, to Bells, and to Honeygrove. And in those games, they were competitive in Grand Saline. They were competitive against Bells. They were competitive against Honeygrove. And not being competitive against Collinsville this year is no shame because even I know Collinsville lost to Munster, but Collinsville is still a damn good team. I'm not going to say that Cooper is winning the region, but I think it would not be a shock to me if Cooper is playing 3 rounds deep in this playoffs this year.
Right.
All right, so who do you have in this region championship?
I'm going to throw a little bit of a shocker here. The whole year, I was thinking Honeygrove was going to make it.
You're going to go Wascom, aren't you?
I'm going Wascom versus Beckville in the region final. Yeah.
A rematch.
Yeah.
I like that. That would be awesome. I'm going to stick with Honeygrove.
Okay.
I think that...
No shame in that, because I can see it.
I don't know if it'll be as epic, but I'm thinking Honeygrove Wascom was going to remind me of Franklin Wascom 3 years ago, one of my favorite playoff games.
Dude, that was
just
physicality on
physicality after physicality.
Yeah.
And at the bottom half, I like the Beckville call. I think Beckville finally breaks through. I think them and Cooper and Shelbyville, though, all of those are going to be some great. This is going to be a fun region. Again, I don't know what they're going to do against Region 4 this year. It feels like Region 4 will reassert itself, but I don't care. Inside Region 3, it's going to be fun. Speaking of Region 4, let's move over to it. And this is one of those low-key games I don't think anybody's talking about that I like. Marlin 7-3 versus Holland 7-3. Friday, Waco ISD Stadium. I'm going to go Marlin, but I would not be shocked if Holland pulls this one off.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be the contrarian here.
No problem.
And I'm going to go with Marlin or Holland in a
slide upset. No, I have no problem with that.
Okay.
This is one of those when you've been watching games as long as we have, you kind of just know how to pick these ones. Like that's going to be different than what people think, and I have no problem with that. Three Rivers 9-1 versus Schulenburg 7-3. This is at New Braunfels Cougar Stadium 7:30 Friday. I got Schulenburg. Give me the Shorthorns.
Give me Three Rivers in this.
I think they're the favorite. I'm not really sure on that one.
Yeah, they're probably the favorite. Three Rivers, look, they got a great quarterback in Cody Sells, 1,945 yards passing, 630 yards rushing, and then Jason Gailey at receiver. Three Rivers is they're just kind of on a roll this year, right? So I think it is.
Does it bother you though that the this is the fun again. Especially for me again. If y'all don't know, last week we didn't have a show. I was sick and out, so I didn't really.
You don't wash your hands.
Yeah, I don't wash my hands, and so I didn't really watch a ton of scores. They did lose last week to Refugio.
Yeah, I saw that.
83-7.
Anything.
83-7.
How bad would Schulenburg lose?
Well, hey, here's a great comparison.
Oh, God.
They lost to Ganado earlier this year. Schulenburg did 61-31. So,
maybe I should. Maybe Schulenburg wins this ball
because
game.
they only lost by 30
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
This
Shorthorns
is why I
might win
love
this
this
ball
sport,
game.
dude. This is why I love it.
All right, Mason 9-1, Rosebud Lot 6-4 over in Cop Cove Thursday at 7:00. Give me Mason. Mason's defense only allowing about 12 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, their only loss was at the beginning of the year to Wall 28-6. And if
after that, nobody's really been real close.
Oh, no, they've blown the doors off. Now, you could make the case of who they've played, but let's talk about we talked about. We felt like Holland and Marlin. Holland could be an upset over Marlin, and Mason beat Holland 61-15.
Yeah,
I know they're ranked 6th in the state, but it feels like Mason's one of those teams that nobody's really talking about.
Right,
and I think you can make the case that they might be playing in the region final here.
Yeah.
Where are we going next?
Weimar versus Santa Maria. This is over in Odom on Thursday. Give me Weimar in this one.
Yeah, give me Weimar.
And it could be big. All right. Ganado versus Skidmore Tynan. Ganado 9-1, Tynan 2-8. This is Thursday in Victoria. Give me Ganado. I think Ganado's on a roll.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell they're still angry with what happened last year. They thought they'd gotten over the proverbial hump.
State championship.
Yeah. And anyway, San Saba 6-4 versus Crawford 2-8. This is in Cop Cove, Bulldog Stadium. I know people want to make this a hot, like this could be an upset. It's Crawford. This is not the same Crawford.
No,
San
it's not.
Saba will win this game. I think it will be close, but San Saba will win this game.
Yeah, San Saba will win this game. And then you got Refugio 9-1, Kennedy 5-5. This is over in Beeville on Thursday. Give me a Refugio.
Yeah, give me Refugio.
And then Riesel and Thorndale and Gerald on Friday. Give me Thorndale on this one.
Yeah, give me Thorndale. All right, so what are you thinking region-wise?
Okay, so region 4, oh man, this is a tough one, dude.
So Refugio and Ganado play before the region final. That's who I'd want to say. But they're going to play in round 3. So I'm going to go Mason and Ganado.
I'm going. Look, everybody, since Ganado got there and Ganado says they're on a mission, you still got to get to Refugio.
And Refugio's going to be angry because Ganado did get through them last year. That's a real good point. People don't realize that beating that team you haven't beat once is great, but now do it again.
Right.
And that's the hardest part is doing it again. But I still trust in Ganado.
I'm going to say Mason and Refugio
I have no problem with that.
in the region final. I have a hard time picking against Ganado. I really do, because I think Ganado is on that mission. They got a taste of it last year. But sometimes when you have such high expectations, the next year just doesn't happen.
No, that's a really good point. I'm still going to go with that, but yeah, I totally get that. All right. That's Class 2A Division 1 in the books. When we come back, we'll do the same thing with Class 2A Division 2 right here on Sideline to Sideline, the 2A edition.
Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear NeuroGuard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room and help with balance when I'm on the baseball field.
One of the most comfortable, reduces concussion, increases performance. You can't get a mouthpiece like that on the market.
Not only is it a great product, it's super easy to use. I recommend it for any player at any age at any level. Thank you guys so much, and go check out NeuroGuard Plus.
NeuroGuard mouthpiece makes it easy to breathe while playing basketball. The unique design is not as bulky as any other mouthpiece and makes you feel safe in concussions.
NeuroGuard. They control my breathing while I'm riding. It stops me getting concussions while I wreck. It's very easy to use, so go pick one up today.
I'm still doing stunts. in the concussions I've got, and I feel much safer with that. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot better in the gym. So NeuroGuard Plus, once this one wears out, you've got a customer for life, because I'm telling you people, NeuroGuard Plus is the way to go, and me, Mark Ash, says so.
Parents, kids, coaches, NeuroGuard. It's the future. Stay tuned.
All right, Terry Bennett, Grant Goodwin back here, sideline to sideline, the Class 2A edition. As we broke down Class 2A Division 1, now we move over to Class 2A Division 2. Let me pull up the sheet once again. Just give me a few seconds as we go through it. And let's start out. Where are we going? Let's start up. Tell me where we're starting out.
Let's go 2A Division 2, Region 1, Groover versus Morton. Groover 10-0, Morton's 3-7 over at Bivens Stadium in Amarillo on Friday night. Groover,
By a lot.
I mean, my gosh, look at Groover. They've outscored their opponents 507 to 144 this year. So,
I'm a huge favorite of looking at that kind of stats when you start just adding up just the total, and you're talking about outscoring your opponents by 400 and playing some really solid teams like Spearman and
Stratford, right?
Huh?
Was it Stratford that Groover beat?
Yeah, 33 to 26
Right.
to begin
Stratford,
district play.
when Groover hosted Stratford, that was the game of the week in the Panhandle, right?
Yep.
Two teams that were expected to have a chance to go to Arlington. The winner takes all. And Groover showed up in a big game and left no doubt. And I think that speaks a lot to this Groover team who's undefeated.
Yeah, no,
the pressure doesn't get to them. They do their thing, and Groover could be a favorite to make it to Arlington. I know, this region's tough, and then Region 2's got a lot of hiccups for them and road bumps.
Yeah.
But I think Groover is the type of team that could pretty much overcome all comers and make it all the way. They got the likes, though, of Wellington and Collinsville and Munster down in Region 2, but I think Groover right now might be a favorite in Region 1.
No, I agree. I have them winning by a lot. Brick Satterfield, their quarterback, and they returned like 9 from last year's 10-3 team. I mean, this is an experienced team.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to win. And again, we talk about they feel like in this region they're the prohibitive favorite. I don't necessarily think they're wrong. I mean, I think.
Oh yeah,
I know
they've announced themselves.
Yeah,
they told
exactly.
you we're the favorites. Stratford. Here, you're the next favorite. Well, here's what we think of you. So, yeah. All right. Iran, they'll take on the winner of Iran and Seagraves. Iran 9-1, Seagraves 6-4. This game is over in Midland on Friday. Give me Iran, but I think it's going to be very, very
I think
close.
this is going to be a lot closer than what people think, but I like Iran as well.
All right. Hell Center 9-1, Bovina 3-6 over at Happy Stadium in Canyon on Friday. Give me Hell Center in this one.
Yep.
Tahoka versus El Dorado in Big Spring on Friday. Ooh, this one's Tahoka, maybe, I think, right?
Yeah, let's see.
I don't think El Dorado's resume has been the strongest, but what is Tahoka's
it hasn't.
Yeah.
El Dorado is struggling when they play good teams, losing to Azona, Sonora, Miles, Iran 70-30. And Wink 55-0. Now, in saying that, let's go ahead and, since we're breaking this one down, let's go look at Tahoka and the Bulldogs and what they've done. They are 8-2, but I mean, I'm trying to see what their best win is. They lose to their best game was losing to Ropes by 1 point.
Yeah,
and that's a quality loss.
Hey, Ropes,
no, that's
good.
a quality loss. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs of Tahoka, but it wouldn't shock me if this is closer than what people think.
Yeah, I like Tahoka, but I like it by 14 points.
Yeah.
All right, Ropes 9-1 versus Sterling City, 4-6 over in Snyder. Give me Ropesville in this one.
Give me Ropes.
All right. Sudan, 6-4. Farwell, 4-6 over in Muleshoe on Friday. I don't know much about either of these other than Sudan is probably the slight favorite just because of the part of the region they come from.
Yeah, and when you look at what Farwell's done on the year, I mean, again, their best game might be a 1-point loss to Abernathy. Groover beat them 49-12. Stratford beat them last week 35-14. Post beat them 59-6. They legitimately, I mean, they don't have a good win. So I'm going to go with Sudan in this one.
All right. Wink, 9-1 versus Sundown, 3-7 at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa on Thursday. Man, Wink comes in here. Wink's defense allows about 15 points a game. They've got a great quarterback in Lane Lusby. Their running back, Kamid Fassine, averaging 197 yards on the ground every game.
You know, this was a team that everybody thought when they lost Creed Fritsch last year that they would maybe finally take a step back, but they returned 14 starters.
And they might even be better this year.
I think they are. And also, I think it also helps where they're at because last year they were sitting in Region 2 and Munster beat them in that second round, a quote-unquote upset at the time, 42-14.
But how much better is it? Because the second round, they get the winner of Stratford and Crosbyton.
That's
Stratford,
a good point.
6-3. Crosbyton 4-6. Being played over at Bivens Stadium on Thursday. But look at Stratford's 3 losses. I mean, they're 6-3, but their 3 losses were to really good teams.
Hang on, internet's being internet right now. Well, we talked about one of them losing. God, who was it? We just talked about it. Who was it they lost to? The Elks lost to Sunray 31-14, Panhandle 33-27. Oh, Groover 33-26. I mean, this is why at 6-3 they're still ranked in the top 10 in the state.
Right,
they will destroy Crosbyton. This won't even be close.
Right, and Wink will destroy Sundown,
and we're gonna have a hell of
Wink
a second round, dude.
Second round.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about who do you have in the region. Championship.
Ooh, I've got Groover versus
Stratford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
How'd
I think
you know I was going to say that? I thought I was going to say Wink.
No, I like what Wink's done. I think Stratford and Groover just are on a little bit different level, and I think we're going to have that rematch.
All right, Region 2, starting off with Wellington 8-2, Petrolia 5-5. This is over in Lawton, Oklahoma, so don't go to that game. Don't spend a penny of any of your salary in the state of Oklahoma.
Grant hates Oklahoma.
Unless it's at a casino, then you're fine. But other than that,
I think that's actually worse.
But Wellington, no, it's not. Just because I go there all the time, all the casinos.
Okay, so
I like Wellington in this one.
I do too, but I do want to point out that Petrolia on the year, I mean, they've got 5 losses, but they're really good losses. Haskell by 3.
No loss is a good loss in my eye.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last week, losing to Windthorst by only 6, a little interesting.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but I like Wellington as well. The Skyrockets, I think, are better.
Yeah, I think Wellington's starting to get back to where Wellington used to be. All right, they'll take on the winner of Collinsville 9-1, Roscoe 4-5 over in Breckenridge on Thursday at 7 p.m. This game's going to be played. Collinsville, look, man. Their quarterback, Jackson Jenkins, 2,300 yards passing. Running back, Garrett Trevino, has been really good all year. The Collinsville defense has been pretty solid. You know, this is a Collinsville defense that was throwing the ball all over the yard last year. They can still do it, but, man, it's way more balanced of an offense.
Well, yeah, and you can make the point that they really started out the year relying on Trevino at running back as Jackson Jenkins kind of worked into being the starter, replacing his brother Logan Jenkins. And I know we've said this all year, give Garrett Patterson, the head coach, credit. He, too many coaches try to round peg into square hole, and he goes, okay, we need to step back, get more physical, run the ball, and then let Jenkins work into being quarterback, kind of like what La Vega has done at the 4A level.
Yeah.
And they've done that. Now, when they played Munster, who has one of the best run defenses in the state of Texas, shut them down. But other than that, nobody has shut them down, and I don't think Roscoe's going to shut them down.
No, I don't either. That's going to set up a nice second-round matchup of Wellington versus Collinsville.
No, I agree 100%.
All right. Windthorst, 9-1 versus a 2-8 Quanah team. This is being played Thursday in Iowa Park. Give me Windthorst, Brock Belcher at quarterback. Along with a defense that only allows about 15 points a game. This says the Trojans win this game all night long.
Do you know Belcher is kin to the Jacksboro Lando Belcher from Munster?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of the fun things about doing a Munster coaches show.
You
just basically learn that they're all just kin up there.
Yeah.
They're just all like
it's all Bohemian blood.
Yeah, it's all cousins and all that fun stuff. But anyway,
all right.
They win.
Miles, 8-2. Lindsay 7-3 over in Brock on Thursday. I don't have a good read on this one. I know you said that Lindsay can run the ball all day long.
They just can't throw.
When you load up on them, they can't throw it.
Yeah, and so when you look at that, that's literally where this game is going to be decided.
And I still like Lindsay in this one, though.
I
think it's going to be Lindsay and Windthorst in the second round. Lindsay will get the licks in on them the second round, but I think they beat Miles.
It depends. Does the Miles that has over the last 4 games held their opponents to a total of 13 points shows up, or does the Miles that gave up 47 to Albany and 34 to Azona show up? I think Lindsay will win this game. I think the Knights will be able to do enough, but I do think this will be a low-scoring game.
All right, Albany 7-2, Era 5-5, being played over in Mineral Wells on Thursday. Give me Albany all day long in this.
Give me Albany all day long, and I think people, the way they started the season, they got destroyed by Stanford, they got shut out by Holly, and I think people, and we're part of that. You form an opinion on them, but then you realize, wait a minute, they're 7-0 against Division II 2A teams.
Yeah, right.
And it hasn't really been that close in a lot of those games. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I think, we'll talk about this here in a second. We're real big on Munster. But I think if anybody is sleeping on Albany, they need to not, because I still think that they're one of the region favorites this year.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Archer City 7-3, Shamrock 6-4 in Childress on Thursday. Archer City 7-3. I want to something that stuck out to me a couple of weeks ago was Archer City was playing a undefeated Electra team and came out and beat them like 54-0 or something like that.
After losing,
which was a shocker to me.
Yeah, after
Electra was. I mean, Electra wasn't playing the toughest schedule.
No.
But the way they were winning those games, and then they come in undefeated, and Archer City just wipes the field with them.
And Archer City beat them, and Electra lost the next week as well to Windthorst.
Yeah.
But they only lost to Windthorst 20-6. But what was impressive to me was Archer City did that after losing 2 in a row, losing to Windthorst 28-8, losing to Haskell 37-16, and then just turn around and absolutely thumped Electra. I would love to see the film on that, and was that one of those games where everything went wrong for Electra, and the next thing you know they're down 28-0? I don't know. Either way, I think Archer City wins this game.
Yeah, Archer City wins this game, and then that would set up a nice second round playoff area round game with Archer City versus Albany.
Yeah.
All right, Munster 8-2 taking on a 6-3 Hamlin team Thursday night in Jacksboro. This has got a tasty matchup kind of like feel to it. Look, I know Munster is the prohibitive favorite, right?
Yeah.
8-2. But Hamlin, their defense only allows about 17 points a game.
Yep.
Not too bad. Now, Munster comes in with Kason Carney at quarterback, 2,090 yards passing, 995 yards rushing, and then Noah Peel at running back has almost 1,000 yards rushing. So can this Hamlin defense that is holding teams around 17 points a game stand up to this Munster running game? I don't know. Munster might be one of the prohibitive favorites to make it to Arlington for the state finals. Not going to say they're winning state finals, but I think they might be there.
Yeah, I do think this is one of those that record-wise people will get bought into, and you might even have some people be like, hey, this could be an upset. I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, and for all the talk about Munster's running game, it's really good. Their passing game with Case and Carney and is very sneaky. Garrett Hess, who kind of lines up at tight end, but also they split him out. He is 6'4". He's huge. He makes a lot of catches. And I think the thing that people don't talk enough about, though, is the Munster defense, especially that run defense. I
Right.
said it again.
Yeah.
I think they legitimately
Hard to run on, right?
Yeah, I legitimately think they have maybe the best run defense in Class 2A, and their pass defense isn't terrible. And at 2A, how many teams you're going to really have to worry about that's going to throw the ball?
Collinsville last year, not so much this year,
Exactly.
but Collinsville can still hurt you through the air. All right, Wheeler 8-2, Electra 8-2.
This is a fun one right
Oh,
here.
it's very fun. This is being played over a great stadium in Vernon, by the way. You and I were in Vernon for a Canadian game several years ago. Nice place to play. Give me Wheeler in this one, though.
Yeah, as great as these records are, give me Wheeler. I mean, when you look at it on the
Electra
year,
spit the bit in the big games,
we're
big
just-
time.
yeah.
The two games they had were huge.
And Wheeler's two losses are to Hell Center 28-14 and to Wellington 23-14. Two very, very good teams. You do have to question, not against Electra, for Wheeler going forward. Their issue is when they play a good defense, they have struggled to score, but they won't struggle in this one.
Yep. All right. So who do you like in Region 2? I asked you that question, but I'm going to tell you mine.
Go ahead, bud.
I think it's Munster versus a mix-up of either Windthorst and Collinsville.
I have no problem with that.
Windthorst Collinsville is going to dictate who Munster plays in the region final. Right now, I got it Munster versus Windthorst, but that Windthorst Collinsville game, man, the only thing that makes me think that Windthorst is going to beat Collinsville is that Windthorst defense. I think they're a tad bit better than Collinsville's defense. Collinsville's offense, though, has been shining all year long, but I think it's going to be Windthorst and Munster in the Region 2 final.
The funny thing is, no matter what, if that happens, it would be a Munster rematch, either against Windthorst, their non-district rival, or Collinsville, their rival. I'm going to cop out and go easy. I still think it's going to be a Collinsville-Munster rematch, but I like that Windthorst. I think Windthorst has kind of been slept on because of that Munster game. And if they do have to play Munster, and again, anything can happen in that second game, I do think it's a matchup issue for them, but I could definitely see them beating
a lot of teams are going to have matchup issues with Munster.
Yeah, and I know Munster is top 3 in the state, but again, I don't think people have really talked about them as much as what people should.
Yeah.
They are a very complete team that as long as
all juniors, and some sophomores.
yeah, and as long as they don't just get in their own way, and they don't genuinely get in their own way. That's what makes Munster scary. They're a very well-coached team. They don't make a ton of mistakes.
Yeah.
Like I said, they lose to Pottsboro, and they lose to Holiday, 2 3A teams that beat them. Holiday basically beat them because Holiday's got like 2 6'2" receivers, and they just played jump ball on them.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how good the Hornets are. I think they're about to find out. All right, let's move to Region 3. Mod 6-4 versus Gold Wave 6-4. Friday, Corsicana Tiger Stadium. This is one of those that the records mean nothing. Goldwaith will name their score against Mod. It will not even be pretty.
Did you see what Goldwaith did last week?
Exactly.
Wow.
And I want to remind people, Mod began the year giving up 76 points to Hawkins, and then proceeded the very next 2 weeks to give up 50 and 46. Hey, Mod, congratulations on making the playoffs. It's going to be a short stay.
Yeah, you're about to get it broke off in you, right?
It's going to be ugly, dude.
Yeah, Goldthwaite wins. All right, they'll take on the winner of West Sabine and Grapeland. Both teams 7-3. They're playing over in Timpson on Thursday. Give me Grapeland in this one.
Give me West Sabine.
What?
I watched them last week against Sabine Pass in their big rivalry game. And
That's a lot of Sabines in one game.
Yeah, I know, it's right. I've got to
Are
watch.
they on the Sabine River?
Oh, West Sabine?
Either Sabine.
Well, Sabine Pass is. It's on.
What
Sabine
about
Pass.
West Sabine?
I guess they're west of Sabine Pass. I've never
What
been
about
through
that,
West Sabine.
You've never seen the Sabine River?
No, I've seen the Sabine River. I've just never been to West Sabine.
It's kind of like the Trinity.
So
you
here's
might
the
see a
three
finger
losses.
or an arm floating down.
Here's their 3 losses. West Sabine. Timpson 39-22, St. Augustine 28-26, and Deweyville, the district champ, 27-18.
All right, but look at what Grapeland's done. You know, I mean, they're
Oh no! If
their
West
losses
Sabine,
haven't been.
oh no, there's the same way. No, they're 100% the same way. Their losses were to Frankston by 3, Overton by 5, and then they lost to Lovelady 2 weeks ago or last week by 1 point. These two teams, in my opinion, mirror each other.
They do, but I think Grapeland is a little bit more athletic.
I have no problem with that. And Grapeland's probably a little bit of the favorite. By the way, I just like that both of these teams, last few years, Grapeland has really struggled. They were 2-8 and 2-8. West Sabine has never historically been a great team. I think they've only made the playoffs like 20 times in the history of their program. So I love that these two teams are. I hate that it's a first round matchup. I think this is a pick 'em. I'm just going West Sabine.
All right, and I'm going Grapeland. All right, they'll take on the winner. We think the winner of that one will take on Goldblade. All right, Mart 8-2, Cumbie 5-5 at Malakoff on Friday. Give me Mart all day long.
Yes, but something is not right in Mart.
No, but Cumbie's not going to.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, we're also talking just the region, and Mart. This year they have struggled when they shouldn't have. Gold Wave absolutely beat the drums out of them last week. The Coach Hoffman's on Twitter making these real weird prophetic life. Questioning comment. I don't know. Something's going on in Mart. It won't happen this week. They'll drum Cumbie, but I'm just saying going forward, this might be the first time in a while that Mart might not be the favorite in this region.
Yeah, and if they beat Cumbie this week, which they should, they're taking on the winner of Overton Evadale. Overton's got the offense to match Mart.
Oh yeah,
right. Second round for Mart is not a given. Look, I think Overton beats Evadale. Overton's quarterback Price still 2,700 yards passing. You got Jaden Edwards at receiver. Evadale, they got a really good quarterback receiver duo in Braden Carroll and Devin Terrell. But I think Overton's got more speed than Evadale, and I think they match up well with Mart if they win.
No, I totally agree. I think Overton will win this one, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Lovelady 8-2, not 80-2, 8-2 versus West Hardin 6-4. This is at Woodville's Eagle Stadium Thursday 7 p.m. Give me the Lions.
Lovelady all day long. They pretty much named their score, right?
Dude, you want to talk about a second round matchup? Bremont 8-2 versus Sims Bowie 3-7. Bremont will win that game. That's Thursday in Maybank. So you got Bremont and Lovelady in round 2. That's a hell of a matchup right there.
Boy, Lovelady with all that athleticism. Bremont with Terrence Scott at running back, Tristan Moorhead at receiver, who are two of the better running back receivers in Region 3, right?
Yes.
Wow, that would be a good one. I like Bremont over Sims Bowie, so do you. All right, Deweyville 9-1, Mount Enterprise 7-3 over in Shelbyville on Friday. I'm taking Mount Enterprise in this one.
Yeah, Mount Enterprise, man, they started the season beating teams like Shelbyville 36-35, and then Grapeland just beat the doors off of them, and then Lovelady beat the doors off of them, and then Overton beat them, but it was only by 1 point. And so the Wildcats confused me. I'm going to give them the game in this one, but I think this is going to be a one-possession game.
Well, whoever they win, I think they both, Mount Enterprises wins.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You okay there, buddy?
Yeah, I think so. They'll take on the winner.
Wait, you think they're going to win, or you think you're okay?
Clarksville's 5-5, Wortham 7-3. This is over in Brownsboro on Friday. I think I don't know who wins that one.
Wortham
Maybe
by a lot.
Wortham. Okay,
By a lot. Look,
but
if this was a
Mount
basketball
Enterprise
game,
will
give me
kill
Clarksville.
either of them.
Yes, if it was a basketball game, give me Clarksville, but it's not.
But it's not.
To compare, and this is how weird 10-2A was. Gold Wave destroyed Mart. Wortham beat Mart or Goldthwaite and then got destroyed by Mart. That's just how we told everybody.
Calibration.
We told everybody why this was the toughest district in the state this year.
Yeah.
Clarksville has not seen anybody like Wortham.
Right. All right, let's go down to region. Oh, well, who do we like in region 3? I'm sorry.
This is tough. I'm going to cheat and go Overton Lovelady rematch.
I am actually going the same thing.
I don't feel comfortable with that. This is one of those.
I don't either
regions
because
that,
I still think Mart has something to say about all this.
Exactly, I do too. I do too. But I got to go with what I feel right now.
Actually, they would be the prohibitive favorite if you weren't talking to us, right? Anybody else would say Mart, but I like Overton Lovelady in these. I just do.
Yep.
All right, region 4.
All right.
Somerville 9-1 to Hannes. Over in Luling on Friday. Give me Somerville in this one.
Yeah, give me Somerville in this one.
All right, they'll take on the winner of Ben Bolt 7-3, Yorktown 7-3, and Beeville on Friday. Give me Yorktown all day long in this one.
Yep, same thing.
All right, Junction 9-1, Iola 5-5 at the field in Pflugerville. Give me Junction.
Yep.
All right.
Junction's a region favorite.
Fall City and Ogaduce Thursday in Pettis. 7 p.m. Give me Fall City. Fall City, very underrated.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is one of those that people that just look at records might be like, well, why are you saying that? But when you look at who
I saw Fall City and Poth earlier this year, I was very impressed in a Fall City loss against a very stacked Poth team.
Yeah.
Fall City is, the Beavers are really good. All right, Shiner 7-3, Woodsboro 4-6. This being played Thursday in Cuero. Give me Shiner. I mean, Shiner's starting to be
rounding
Shiner
the form.
again.
A lot of people are starting to say that they're back to being the favorite of this region.
I think they might be. All right, Bracketville 6-3, Burton 6-4. This is Friday at Harlandale Stadium in San Antonio. Give me Burton in this one.
Yeah, give me Burton in this one.
All right, Lavia. And Louise at 7 o'clock Friday in Freer. Thursday in Freer. I think I might like Louise in this one.
Hang on, sorry, having some technical issues.
You like Louise too?
Yes.
All right, Granger versus La Pryor. Granger 7-3, La Pryor 6-4.
Give me Granger.
This is Johnson City Eagle Stadium Friday. Yeah, Granger. Granger's a quiet favorite in this one, or one of the favorites in this one.
All right, so let's finish
this region.
So finish it up. I feel like we're going to have a rematch, Fall City versus Shiner in a game that was really good in district this year. Shiner won by 1 possession. But I like what you said about Granger, though. If I was going to pick a team that might spoil that, I could see it being Granger.
Yeah, but I think it is Fall City and Shiner. Both of those teams so tough, so physical, so athletic, and their defenses are both coming into form.
Wow. That is 3 week 1 playoff shows. We just picked every playoff game. It's late, but man, that was a fun time. I love this time of year. And we want to thank our sponsors again, NeuroGuard Plus. Also our newest one, Lazy Dog Kettle Corn. You can check them out at 5gfarmtexas.com/shop for all the great kettle corn and pork rind flavors. We'll be talking more about them, of course, as the playoffs go. Until next time, he's Grant Goodwin. I'm Terry Bennett. This has been the Class 2A Bi-District Playoff Show right here on L4 Media.
I'd be second.